Alrighty, so this is the system that you absolutely need to implement before 2025. Otherwise, the crypto gym bro coaches are going to be hopping on this. They're going to steal all the market share. So you need to hop on this right now if you want to sell info at an extremely high price. And I'm talking anywhere between $8,000 to $20,000. Okay, because this is going to be the biggest thing for 2025. And really, what we're going to be talking about is how to position yourself properly, what the top info sellers are doing in order to position their product that they can sell it for 15 to 20K. There are people doing that at the moment. No freaking $2,000 monthly payments, no split payments, no $4,000 for your entire info product. No, I'm talking about 10 to 20K for an info product. Okay, how are they doing that? It's really based on position. We'll get into that. And then we're going to get into product transformation. So you're going to need to know, after you position yourself well with the right system in place, you're going to need to know how to transform your product. Okay, because one of the biggest problems that's also happening is the accountability aspect when it comes to coaching and info products, how to position it well. And this stuff, nobody's sharing. Okay, this is all brand new. And then number 3, the simplest funnel. Stop running around with your head cut off like you're a little chicken and start implementing the simplest funnel so you're not going through the newest marketing tactic, doing this the next month, putting in this webinar funnel. No, there's one simple funnel that you need in order to sell something at an extremely high price. Okay, that you don't need to overcomplicate it. And we're going to be getting into that. I'm going to give you the secret sauce and what everyone is doing before 2025. I mean, the top people are warming up to this funnel and people are starting to talk about it. So you need to hop on this ASAP. And I'll be going over just that. But first, you need to know positioning. How do you actually sell something for, if you're just starting, let's just say, how do you sell something for $6,000 to $15,000 as an info product? Well, one of the biggest problems that we're facing right now in the info product space, and I'm just going to come out and say it because nobody wants to say it. It is saturated. Okay, there's a ton of people hopping into the info product space. Why? Because they think it's easy to sell an info product and really scale it out, which it can be. It really can be with the right systems in place. But the problem is everyone is on top of their game. They know the next best marketing tactic. Everyone's trying to get into coaching. The market is really warming up. So this is the market, and it's on fire right now. Everybody knows the game that's being played. Everyone, right? I'm sure if you're a current coach now, or you're looking to be a coach or sell some sort of info product, you're probably hopping on calls and getting an objection like, oh, why should I invest in your thing? Because I just invested in this guy's, or I'm looking into this guy's program. Why should I go into yours? And you're constantly handing those objections. If not, you're going to be, unless you implement this right positioning strategy and system. But the market's on fire. Everyone is warmed up to the game that's being played. Everyone knows that they're being pitched some sort of coaching offer. But let's look at the top info seller. Because the answer to this and how to really sell high ticket items and not be seen as a coach or an info seller has been under our nose this entire time. Okay? And that's Mr. Alex Hormozi. I want to ask you one question. Why? Why isn't this guy seen as a guru, a coach, or even an info seller? Because that's how he got rich. Gym Launch, at the end of the day, was a program that people went through. But why? Why wasn't it seen as a program? And why isn't he seen as an info seller? Most people don't really talk about it. Some people are warming up to the idea that, yeah, all he's doing is just selling info, which is totally fine. And he's built an amazing company, Gym Launch. But why was that branded so well? And why was he able to sell it for, I don't know, like $1 gajillion? It's because how he positioned Gym Launch and how he positioned himself and his product. Okay, if you actually study Gym Launch, it is a program. People have to watch things. But what he did was create an in-between a done with you and a done for you. That's the secret sauce. He positioned himself as this little in-between thing. And we'll talk more about this with the product transformation. Okay? But in doing so, when he did this with Gym Launch, like it was a 12-week process that these people would go through, and he was selling it, I think anywhere between like 12 to 20K for 12 weeks, that these people would go through, and they would have a successful gym at the end of it, or they would launch their successful gym business. Okay? And there was aspects in there that were done for you and done with you. Okay? But the positioning of it was seen, and here's the key word, as a system. That's a key word. This is a system that we're installing into your business, and we're just going to coach you on how to manage it. Okay, see how that gets away from being a regular coach or someone who's selling an info product where these people just get, all you do is just sell them and they watch videos and you hope that they're successful. Positioning yourself as selling this thing that you install into someone's business allows you to get away from guru land. And most importantly, allows you to sell this at a super high ticket. Okay? Because once again, it's getting you away from being the coach. Okay, here's the program that you're just going to go through. And if you go through the program, you're going to be successful. No, that's the problem. That's why people are struggling to sell their info product for even $2,000. Because people are so warmed up to that. The market doesn't want to have this just program they go through. Because the biggest thing right now is accountability. Selling this thing that you are installing into someone's business positions yourself away from actually being a coach. Okay, so all you're doing is, for Gym Launch, all they did was, we're installing this system that has worked for us in launching a gym business, and we're gonna coach you on the back end of it so that you can manage it. All right, so there's done with you parts and there's done for you. So there was a program that people had to go through. I mean, I haven't been through it myself and I've heard a lot about it, but there was a program, and then there was other coaches or team members that would implement things. It could have been script writing an ad for people so that they can be booted up super quickly. It could have been installing a funnel or setting you up on Meta ads. Okay, those tedious things that if a team member just knew how to do it, can do it right away instead of just teaching somebody that through a program. But as you do that and as you install those things, that is when you begin to then coach them on how to actually manage that. All right, so positioning is the biggest thing. So I want to give you another example here though, because I could hear somebody screaming in the comments right now, but what if I'm a gym coach? How do I tell people I'm installing a system? Listen, this is marketing 101. It's about positioning, the words you use, okay? And I'm going to talk about product because you do want to transform it. You just don't want to make it a program, but it's really about the words you use, right? If you're selling, how to get six-pack abs in 120 days, okay? You don't want to be like, I'm going to coach you through this process. Here's the program that you're going to go through. I'm going to coach you through it. And hopefully, you're held accountable through my coaching and putting you in Slack and everything's going to be dandy. No, you're going to say, I am going to install the right workout routine. I'm going to install the done for you nutritional checklist that you need to do every day. And we're going to systemize your entire life so that you operate differently. Okay. What you're doing now is you're operating like an idiot. You're spending money on Twinkies and eating them all day. I'm going to install this new system, this new way of thinking that gets you away from eating from junk food. I'm going to install the right nutritional plan. So all you have to do is follow that. And I'm just going to coach you on how to manage it. All right. So that's how you begin to do that. You begin to position yourself away from actually being a coach. And that is exactly how the top info sellers are creating things that cost anywhere between $50,000 to $30,000 for your info product. Okay, it's a system that you're installing. I know I said that positioning and system a lot, but it's really important. Okay, so now that you know you need to position yourself well, how do you transform your product? And I was giving you a little bit of a hint earlier on in the video, but if you really want to sell something for a high ticket, super high ticket, anywhere between 10 to 15K, you really need to be in this in-between zone. Okay, so in this in-between zone, we have program on the left, and we have agency on the right. Okay, so the difference between a program and an agency is done for you. So let's just go back, and I used to run a content agency for some of the top info product sellers, Robert Kiyosaki, Ryan Doris. I used to create their content for them. And it was a completely done for you agency. So what does that entail? Okay. For my content agency, we were writing the scripts, editing the videos for people, okay, even uploading content for them. We did that all for them. There was no part where they had to do something. And the only thing they had to do was just record the content. So a lot of it was just completely taken care of. Now the program, if I created a program around my agency, it would just be, how am I coming up with videos? How am I editing videos? And how am I posting it? And that would be packaged up into videos. And they would have to go through that to acquire the knowledge on how to do what I'm exactly doing. Okay, so program is do it yourself. Agency is done for you. All right, and a lot of people today are trying to say, this whole coaching industry as well, they're trying to say that, oh, it's done with you. It's done with you. It's done with you. Well, what the heck does that mean? Nothing's done with you if you're still forced to go through a program and then just show up to a weekly group coaching call. Nothing is done with you. It's them doing it entirely themselves, and they show up to a call and maybe get a few questions answered. All right. So if you actually want to sell something for 10 to 15K or just be better at selling info products and acquire more clients, you're going to want to hit the in between, supposedly done with you and then done for you. So there's aspects that are going to have to be within the business that are done for you. And I was saying back to Alex Hormozi, that could be writing somebody's ad scripts right away. It could be setting up their landing pages. It could be, if you're a gym coach, a done for you customized nutrition checklist. Okay. There needs to be that in between. And then from there, right, you have done for you aspects, but then there's also the program so that they acquire the knowledge on why you're operating this way or why that this system works and how do you manage it. Okay. So for the gym launch one, there's going to be some things done for you. We're going to help set up your ads and all that stuff. But here's the program on why you're doing it this way so you can understand and then be able to scale this out. All right. And the way you want to really approach this is have it be installed, the done for you aspects, within the first 14 to 30 days. Okay. And really, how do you figure out what is the done for you stuff that is actually going to be installed within the first 14 to 30 days? Well, it can be repetitive tasks or simple copy and paste type systems. Some of them could be a completely customized thing if needed. But for us, as an example, we'll just copy and paste the landing page, change the header, maybe write up your VSL if you need us to do that. And it's done. It's done right away within the first 3 days. All right. And they don't even have to worry about it, because what you really want to find is the key elements that get them to be successful as soon as possible. Because right now in the info product space as well, I was talking about this, the info product space is lacking accountability. That's why people pay for the done for you. Okay. They don't want to be held accountable for actually being successful in a particular area, which is totally fine. That's why done for you stuff typically cost way more, because it's hard. You have to take care of the whole thing, and there's no obligation to the person to take care of it. So people are paying for the accountability aspect, and there's such a big lack of accountability within today's info market that there needs to be the done for you items in the beginning. And those done for you items need to be the key elements that move them along quickly. And typically as well, these key elements are going to be aspects where your client gets hung up on. All right. It could be tedious things like setting up meta ads. If you're a coach, it could be actually developing the workout plan around the person's schedule in their life for them, right? That's a tedious task. Or it can also be simple tasks that can be just copy and pasted over. But once again, these are key levers that move them down to make this a streamlined process, because this all needs to happen in 14 and 30 days. From there, you have your program that teaches them what is happening, why we're doing it this way, so they mentally understand, their beliefs are changed, and they start to understand the system that's being installed so they're not completely blind, and then they know how to manage it themselves. Okay? So this is how you begin to transform the product. Find out the key elements that move people along, and really this all should be happening during the onboarding process. Literally within the first 14 days, everything that you can do for them should be installed. From there, you're just coaching them to scale. Okay? All right, so now that you're transforming your product so it can be worth actually like 10 to 15K, done for you, done with you, let's get into the simplest funnel that you should be running before 2025. If you don't start on this, you are going to be left in the dust. I'm not even lying. Because what is happening right now is a big shift. Okay? And that is leveraging YouTube as the main platform to acquire customers and using secondary short form platforms to support that. And everybody, I'm telling you, everyone's warming up to this. Alex Hormozi has admitted that more than 50% of his clients come from long form YouTube. Charlie Morgan, I would probably say 80% of his clients come from YouTube. There's other people like William Brown. He's doing 300K a month. All of that comes from YouTube. Iman Ghazi, all of his clients come from YouTube. And every info product seller that I know who is running YouTube as well as short form content, they always say that more than 80% of their sales are coming from YouTube. So why is this actually happening though? And we need to understand the why. So why is YouTube the cash king? There's a couple things that are happening within the market, right? We were in TikTok renaissance, but the problem with that is TikTok decreased the value on virality. Okay, so virality, the value on going viral has decreased. Okay, so what used to be 1 million views back in 2018, that used to hold way more value than what 1 million views holds now, because going viral is a lot easier through short form content. Another problem with short form content, it's so fast paced. People are scrolling, and they see a viral video, they're just going to forget about you because they scroll on to the next thing. All right. So virality has decreased because it's easy to go viral. It's more of like a commodity now. There's a cultural shift and more people becoming intentional with what they watch. Okay? If you study the market long enough, you begin to understand these meta trends that are happening. And what I consider a meta trend is something that it takes a little bit to pick up. It's subtle, okay? And it's going to be a very long trend for the future. You call it a macro trend, whatever you want to call it, okay? And what I'm starting to notice right now is that a lot of people are becoming more intentional with what they watch, right? This whole doom scrolling thing. People are waking up to the idea that, yeah, TikTok is terrible for your brain, okay? And you might know this already. You probably do because you've heard about it before, okay? TikTok's terrible for your brain. Short form's terrible for your brain. A bunch of dopamine monkey type people just on there, right? So more and more people are becoming intentional about what they watch. So that means they're going to go over to YouTube. YouTube is longer form, right? If somebody watches your video for 10 to 30 minutes, they're intentional about it. They're going to be present. They're not going to forget who you are. Okay, so through that, more authority with long form content, trust, leadership, connection is developed. All this stuff happens way more through long form. And when you have more authority, trust, leadership, and connection, it means you get more cash for the most part, if you have the right systems in place. And then through this, the last thing here is that I would say 90% of the selling is done through the content itself, right? That's why on like short form platforms, you have to get so complex. You need lead magnets, you need appointment setters, you need the best offer in the world. You need to try to convince people to hop on calls. You need to perfect stories on Instagram and getting people over that. On Twitter, you need to come out with constant lead magnets, DM people, and all this other stuff, right? It's because the content itself doesn't necessarily sell people. You need more of that middle of funnel developed with short form platforms. That's why like email becomes really, really good for short form platforms when you get people on there. That's why you need lead magnets, because you need more supply here. You need more supply of people in order to show them the value of your product, in order to raise their awareness, right? Because they're just scrolling on short form platforms and they're gonna just forget about you. So you need to capture them. YouTube, you don't need to do that, because one, they're being intentional. Now they know you, trust you, see you as a leader, and they're thinking about you more. And the way the videos are designed is all to sell them. They're all VSLs at the end of the day. And with that, you're gonna end up with more people paying you in full, more people ready to pay a higher price because they watched more content of yours and you drawled out more of their pains, showed them more solutions, okay? And you showed them how your system works with a bunch of case studies and stuff like that, right? So YouTube is becoming the king of cash when it comes to info selling, all right? Like the biggest info sellers make all their money through YouTube. So YouTube is good enough, right? But what we also want to do here, short form platforms aren't, I was just telling you how terrible they are, but really they're not that bad, okay? We still make money from short form platforms, okay? Because you want to then leverage short form. So you have Instagram, Twitter, this is going to be a bird, LinkedIn, right? And email. I wouldn't actually consider email short form, but we'll just put that there for now, okay? Because the biggest issue with YouTube at the moment is not being able to directly contact your customers unless they go through an opt-in within your phone. So that's why these are kind of needed. Okay, for the most part, what we're seeing with our studies out there is that yes, people will watch the YouTube videos, but then they'll hit us up on Instagram, or they'll hit our clients up on Instagram, and they go through the pipeline that way. They end up booking a call that way. But really what got them there though, to even hit somebody up on Instagram, was the YouTube videos. Literally ask any coach or creator that runs YouTube, and they'll say all of their prospects have watched a YouTube video. At least all the ones they've sold have at least watched one YouTube video. Okay, but we still want to leverage these platforms in the right way with the right systems, the right promotional strategies, the right appointment setting strategies in order to maximize the amount of people hopping on calls. All right, but here's the thing. The next part of this process is actually leveraging YouTube during the sales process, okay? So after they book a call, you need to leverage YouTube, okay? Make sure people are watching your YouTube videos after they book a call to be warmed up to who you are. You need to warm them up to who you are so that they trust you. You need to warm them up to what your product is so they understand the process. And this all leads to them hopping on a call, ready to just pay you right away. There's no questions, there's no objections. And if you run this right, with the right sequences in place and the right videos that you're sending them, these people are gonna hop on a call and you're gonna have a 40 to 60% close rate. All right, so for us, our YouTube close rate is around 70%. Anytime somebody books a call through YouTube or has gone through our YouTube system, our sales accelerator, by the way, if you want this installed, click the link in the description and we'll install this for you. But we're getting a 75% close rate because we leverage YouTube. And it really goes back to that one thing where more trust, leadership, authority, connection, you name it, everything just develops way faster. Because the more time you can get somebody to spend with you, the more likely that they're going to buy their product. I think there's a statistic out there that if you get someone to watch 7 hours of your content, if they end up actually booking a call or landing on the page to check out, it's like a 90% close rate, right? Because all of this, they're spending time with you. It's like you're developing a friend, okay? But you're this cool guy in their eyes who is selling something that's going to get rid of all their pains and problems. So you need to be able to leverage this. And really the funnel becomes super simple. It's good YouTube strategy with the right videos in place. So you do want to design this right. You need to be able to implement the right YouTube strategy. And if you want that, check out the link in the description. Having the key videos that sell people. So you need videos that, let me do this over here. You need videos designed in a way to sell them, right? And you need to do that across multiple videos. And then the other beautiful thing about this is it's evergreen. Once you make it once, it's gonna last 5+ years, consistently getting you book calls, simplifying your entire process. And so it's just YouTube videos to a good landing page with a solid offer with the right positioning, right? We just talked about that. And booking a call, and people are gonna be sold, okay? That's how simple it is. Everyone's warming up to this idea. And the last part of it though is automating this entire thing. So how can you actually show up for only 1 to 4 hours a week, get YouTube videos done, have it posted and have it be successful to where you're just bringing in book calls pretty much on autopilot. So you need the right automations in place in order to make that happen. Okay, there's a lot more to it than just, standing here like I am and recording a video. There's scripting, editing, uploading, distribution, where you're storing your content, how do SOPs around editors getting that content, SOPs around VAs uploading that content. So all you have to do is just record your thing, put it on Drive, and it's taken care of. So you need the right SOPs and automations in place in order for you to get in that zone where you're only spending 1 hour to 4 hours a week on YouTube videos. And really, the other beautiful thing about it as well is you are now spending less time to make more money. So this is time. This is money, right? If I'm on short form and it's so fast paced that even if you create one video, everyone's going to forget about it. So it doesn't last as long. So I'm spending a ton of time creating short form videos because you have to consistently post a lot. On YouTube, being consistent is good as well. But short form, you really have to be consistent so people don't forget about you. So I'm spending a ton of time focusing on short form for little money. All right, so YouTube leverages your time the most. Okay, you're only creating one video once a week. And from that, you're consistently getting book calls for months to come because YouTube is also evergreen. All right, so that's pretty much it. What you want to do, the system that you need in place in order to sell a super high ticket product, position yourself away from all the coaches and info sellers out there is, position yourself as somebody who's installing this system into somebody's business. And you do that by having a in between a done with you and a done for you. And then you run a simple funnel, which is being on YouTube. Okay, everybody's hopping into it right now. You run a simple funnel on YouTube with the right content strategy. And now you're selling your info product or coaching business for, anywhere between 8,000 to 15,000 paid in fulls. All right. So with that, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you want this exact thing, right? If you want this actually installed into your business, particularly the YouTube aspect, go ahead and check out the link in the description. We'll just show you how to get this. All right. With that, I'll see you in the next video.